Hello, my name is Peter Roper. I'm known as the Family Businessman, and welcome to Peppermint Wednesday, my video blog that answers questions that I'm given from clients every week. Here's a really interesting one. What happens if we have a member of staff that has values that don't match with us? What happens if we have a member of staff that has values that don't match with us and our family business? Now, this comes out quite often, and it can come out in many different forms, I feel. I remember visiting a business, 3 or 4 months ago, and I was introduced to the business. They were going through some challenging times, and hence they wanted me to come along and see if they can help them to get more business. It was all about business development, it's what I do. But invariably, there are things that are a part of it. And they introduced me to a particular gentleman. We sat down later on and talked about him. And they said, well, the challenge with Fred, we'll call him, is that he just doesn't like what we do. He doesn't agree with the way that we do business. And frankly, he's a pain in the ass. Now, of course, my initial instinct was, well, if he's a pain in the ass, why the hell is he still here? But you have to ask yourself a question sometimes, which is, well, why the hell is he being a pain? What is it? Is it the fact his values are fundamentally different to the business? So, what do? Well, step one is to sit down with that person and find out why they're being a pain, frankly. I mean, it's not rocket science, this, is it? But when you talk about people's values, you better be very, very careful. Because if you're not very careful in the way you do things, people can take offence very, very quickly. Because, of course, values are our fundamental being at the end of the day. They're the things that we've grown up with. It's what our core area is, our beliefs and values tying together. So the thing is that when you talk to that person about values, first of all, you need to understand the values that drive them. Don't slam the values of the business down to them first of all. Find out the values that they have as a person, as an individual. All right? Get them down. Get the handful that really means something to them, that's core to them. Make sure they're not paying lip service to it. What are those core things? Then ask them to say, okay, well, that's your core. So as far as your business role is concerned, have you got challenges in relation to the values that need to happen in this business role? You may find out one or two things. You might find out that the values here for the business role are exactly the values that you demonstrate in action as the part of the business. Or it might be that actually they feel the values here for this business role need to be a little different for some reason, from a positive perspective. Maybe they're being a pain because they can see that there are a different set of values that are needed here because of the customers or clients they're dealing with, because of their values. Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? So actually they may be looking at it from a positive perspective. They're being a pain because they're trying to help you and your family business. Don't just think that because they're being a pain and they're talking about different values to you ordinarily, that that's a negative thing. It may be they're flagging to you that there's not just a challenge here, but an opportunity in the business. And if there is, that's a great time to talk about a course of action, agree with them, and put something in place to make it work. And guess what? They're probably going to be far less of a pain. Alternatively, it may just be that what they value and what the business values is very different. In that situation, you need to re-highlight formally that those are the values expected of the business and have a conversation about whether they could actually handle that or not. Now, experience tells me that people will say, yes, yes, of course they can, because they want to stay employed, particularly in recent times as life has been tough. But the reality probably is they'll pay lip service to it. So you need to put them into a process that they're very clear about, that is measurable and deliverable over a period of time, let's say a week, a month, 3 months max. And you need to see that they're actually adhering to your core values of the business. And if they're not, say goodbye. And say goodbye correctly, properly, but say goodbye, because all they will do is make your business weaker. It will affect your client base, it will affect you, and it will affect them as well. Well, there's no point. So look at it from two perspectives. It may be that they've identified an area where you need to reevaluate the values of the business, in which case it's a positive, not a negative. But it is a negative, put them into process, make something happen, and give them the opportunity to try and do something else with someone else. So that's it. Get on social media, let's share some information, send me an email, I always answer them personally. Let's talk about if we've got a member of staff that doesn't share our values, what have you done to make life better for you, and let's see how we get on with that. So I'm Peter Roper, I am the Family Businessman. This is Peppermint Wednesday, and remember, if I can help you in any way, just let me know. Thanks for listening.